The Tao of Self Confidence, episode 194.
Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of successful women finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Subscribe to our newsletter by visiting thetaoofselfconfidence.com.
Well, hello, friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have a phenomenal lady on. She is the founder and editor-in-chief of a fashion lifestyle website called Wear Oh Wear, and I'm just excited to have her on and share her story. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Karman Tse. Karmen, how are you? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to our listeners.
Hi Sheena, thank you for the introduction. My name is Karmen and I founded the fashion and lifestyle website, which is based in Singapore. It's called Wear or Wear, or WOW for short. I was originally from Hong Kong, but I came when I was around 10, so I'm practically a Singaporean. And for work, then I have been a journalist for 15 years before I decided to start my own website.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And Karmen, what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
One of the things that we do at Wear or Wear, one of the anchor series and one of my favorite, it's called the Wow Women series. And I interview a lot of inspiring people, women. And one of the topics that, we keep coming back to is self-confidence. And I also really love reading, his biographies of really successful and women who inspire me. So I think it's really hard to pick just one quote for self-confidence. But the first one that comes to mind maybe would be, if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. And if you can dream it, you can become it. I think it's very important to know what you want. And when you have that passion to go and get what you want, I think you just go all out, and with every obstacle that comes your way, you find a way to get over that. And I think with everyone that you get over, you feel a little bit better about yourself. And I think also quite recently, you might have read this, it was all over Facebook. Queen Bee also said something resonated with me. She said, "The world will see you the way you see you, treat you the way you treat yourself."
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And I truly believe that too. Anything you can imagine, you can create. I mean, the world around us, everything started through someone's imagination, whether it's Steve Jobs with the iPhone or, the cars that we drive, the chairs that we sit on. It's all from someone's imagination. So thanks for sharing that. And what would be, in your own words, your definition of self-confidence?
You know the saying that the harder you work, the luckier you are? I think the same goes for self-confidence. Once again, it comes back to, what do you love? What is your passion? And if once you've identified that, and you work your ass off, you work really hard to be great at what you do, I think you feel really good about yourself, and your confidence will just build. Every time you do something really well, you just feel good and you keep doing it. I think it comes through as well when you do a piece of really good work. You look at it and people love it and people tell you how good it is. But more than external praises and recognition, I think you can see all your hard work and everything, the sweat, the tears, whatever that goes behind building something. Like for you, it's this podcast. For me, it's a website, and for a lot of other people, a piece of art, a piece of music that they create, anything really. And yeah, you work hard and something great comes out of it. And I also think that it comes with age. You become wiser every time you learn a lesson. But it's also important to know that there are good days and there are bad days. You can't feel really great about yourself every single day. It's unrealistic. So cut yourself some slack, on bad days. And if you feel like you don't have it that day, you fake it until you become it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And I love your definition. It's true, right? We all start from the bottom. And the more we just do something that we love, we get better at it and we build that confidence as we keep on going. So great definition. And Karmen, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
So this is not the first time that I've been asked this. And I always say that finding your self-confidence is not like, finding the right pair of jeans and once you found the right ones and you stick to it. Confidence is something that like I said, there are good days, there are bad days, it comes and it goes. For me personally, there really isn't a before and after. It's an ongoing discovery as you grow older, as you evolve, and as you learn. And every day is different. Life is always going to present you with new challenges for you to overcome, for you to find solutions to. So I think, like I said in the beginning, with every hurdle that you jump over, you feel a little bit better about yourself. Like, hey, I actually can do this. Yeah. I mean, so for me, yeah, I'm still looking for it, and I just have to keep practicing and keep reminding myself of the things that I am good at. Because sometimes you forget, and sometimes you're really, really harsh. You're always your harshest critic when you're not good enough. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And, I believe too, self-confidence is always going to be like this ongoing process, for the rest of your life. Like you said, there's good and bad days, and sometimes we just got to keep on going. And, Karmen, like, were there points in your life when you realized, you were capable of things that you never thought were possible? Was there any like aha moments in your life?
There isn't one big aha moment in my life. I think whether it's in my personal life, have ups and downs. I have ups and downs, and sometimes some people are lucky. They find the thing they want to do. They know exactly what they want to do from a very early age, and they pursue it. And for me, I kind of always been, my whole life a drifter. I go from one thing to another. Not just, as a kid, you enjoy life, go to school, going down the path that your parents want you to go, and that's something that's very common in Asian culture. So it's only very late in life that I come to realize how much I love writing, how much I love creating, and seeing something that I create come to life. And it just wasn't enough anymore to work for someone else, to work for another company, and just to do work according to someone else's vision. And I realized that, hey, I have all these ideas, I have a vision. Why don't I just create a website for myself and put all the things that I like, all the stories that I like to tell on this wonderful platform? And so I did. So maybe that is the biggest aha moment, but it really didn't, it's not like I wake up one morning and, with a snap of your fingers and decided this is what I want to do. I think, again, for me, it's everything that happens in life or doesn't happen in life, it's for a reason. And it's the little things that whether it's the ups and the downs that contributed to or led me to building this website. And I think it's probably the same with a lot of people. But yeah, I mean, where building this is probably the best decision made.
That was great, and thanks for sharing that. Sometimes people think we're too late to find something that we love to do, and with you just went ahead and did it anyways. You said you had all these ideas, and it's like, why can't I just put this to life instead of working for someone else or following your parents' path, especially as Asian women, right? Where there's a lot of Asian women out there who feel like they always have to follow that same route that they've been told to do, and you just went ahead and did your own thing. And because of creating Wear Aware, what's your life been like now?
It's definitely not a bed of roses, but it is. I think one thing that people always say to me when they learn that I left a full-time job to start my own website is this is one of the first things that people say is that, oh my God, you're so brave. It takes so much guts, blah blah blah. But it's funny. I think if you ask and you talk to a lot of people who started their own businesses, and I will bet you half or more than half of these people will tell you that it didn't come. You don't think about how courageous or how gutsy you are to want to just dive into this thing that you want to do. It just never crossed your mind. It's not about that. It's just, it comes from that place where, you really love something and you just want to make it happen. And then you take one step at a time, put one foot in front of the other, and then it becomes something bigger and more than you thought. And for me, it was the same. Like, I didn't want to work for anyone anymore. So I am what I call a tech tart, really retarded about technological stuff. But I spent 6 months designing and setting up a website all by myself without any help because there was just no budget for it, right? So I had to do everything myself. So it is a very, very steep learning curve when you want to start something. So if you don't have a love and a passion for it, and you're not willing to wake up and work for it, even though there's not going to be maybe a lot of money in the first 6 months, even to a year. It's hard, but it's not for nothing. Even on the most difficult day, you learn something. And it's amazing because then you also start attracting like-minded people and people who are willing to teach you, people who inspire you in a way you need to be. So I think that is really magical and it's worth the hard work and the tears.
Thanks for sharing that. And I believe anything worth, working your ass off is worth it, right? I mean, like you said, sweat, blood and tears, but when you see the end result, the outcome, like you just sit back and you're like, I can't believe I just did that, and you have that great feeling inside of you. So, thanks for sharing that. And Karmen, to the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey of self-confidence. What would be that one tip you would give to her?
I think know what you're worth, know what you're very good at, and just own it. Just own it and never apologize for being how good you are, for being who you are. Yeah, I think just be kind to yourself in general.
Thanks for those awesome tips. And, I like what you said, knowing your worth, because, yeah, as women, we do undervalue ourselves, right? Especially with society, pretty much programming us to never rock the boat and never make any noise. I mean, we are worth more than we realize. So I really love that you mentioned that. And Karmen, if our listeners want to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Sure, I would love it if you guys can come to the website Wear, and that is spelled WearOhWhere.com. Other than that, we're also on Facebook and look us up on Instagram.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Karmen, you can also head on over to thetowofselfconfidence.com and search for Karmen's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I really want to thank Karmen for taking the time to share her story with us. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sheena. Thanks for having me on the show.
It was our pleasure. To the listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to another amazing episode of the Tao of Self-Confidence. Check out our resources to help you jumpstart your inner journey to self-confidence by visiting thetaoofselfconfidence.com.